Hey, it's Vishnu and Jack here. Uh, what's up? So for our capstone projects, we wanted to pursue our interest of memes and the internet. Our initial plan was to study memes over time, but this proved tricky due to some flaws in the Imgur API that we were unaware of. Turns out that accessing memes uploaded through their meme generator um, uh, isn't actually supported by their API. So we ended up pivoting. And this was an exciting pivot. We created a tool that, using the Imgur API, accesses the titles of certain photos uploaded through Imgur to specific subreddits, and using those titles, we generate other possible titles using Markov chains.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And shout out to Cassandra for teaching us about Markov chains before.
Thank you.
It's a really great Markov chain. It actually also uses, it's not just how much of words appear in the titles and what comes next. It also depends on how many views those titles got. So it takes into account that, and it has a little weight based on how many views those got. So it's a pretty cool Markov chain.
It's pretty neat. Let's get into it. So here we are. This is the heart of our program. So the first thing we do is access the Imgur client using a module that the Imgur API engineers created themselves for accessing it. We import it right there, as you can see. So first we use that to access the data. This is pretty straightforward. We have it wrapped in some nice while loops to make sure that the input is handled okay. And frankly, let's just hop into it. Let's run it, Vishnu. Let's do it.
Okay, Playhive. Wow.
All right, type in a subreddit that you would like to draw from. All right, what about meme economy? Classic subreddit. Would you like to add another, Vishnu?
Yeah, Playhive.
Why not? Okay, let's add another. Type in another subreddit that you would like to draw.
What's that one with animals?
Oh, of course, Advice Animals. This is a great subreddit. They've got a lot of photos. All right, would you like to add another? Or should we cut it off?
I think that's enough.
All right, that's probably enough. We can add up to 4 because we didn't want to pull too much data from Imgur. But let's cut it off there. No. All right, we're generating the data. This takes a little while. That's okay.
Oh no, you know what? It's been created.
This wasn't too bad. What should the length of the sentence be, Vishnu? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking good, solid 15 words.
15 words? All right. 15. We have 10,000. Look at all those words that we have. Okay, so this sentence is to invest in Rick and wanted to determine the. That's
okay.
That's an interesting sentence. It's an interesting sentence. Yeah, let's generate another. Why not? Let's have this one be short. 2. Rise! Exclamation.
Wow.
That
what a sentence.
That is interesting. Let's up the ante. 50. Ooh, this style of this meme safe to invest in. Rick and Morty season 3 episode 1. Is this meme safe to invest? Exclamation. Invest your professional opinions on the market. Buy.
I think you missed one.
Bye. All right. Oh, there it is.
This is a classic case of how the Markov chain, because buy is so commonly followed by buy, it always, in fact, when it sees buy, it just prints out buy. So there you go.
Yeah, Markov chains are actually really interesting. Vishnu, let's end the program. Why don't we go up to our Markov class and learn a little about this?
Okay, Playhive. So let's look at this class right here. It's a class, and basically you pass in data, which is stored in the title data is stored in the form the title string and how many how many likes that got. So we can apply the weights later.
Right, yeah.
And so we add these these titles to this array called titles. It's actually a dictionary.
Yeah.
No, it's actually an array.
Well,
don't worry about it. Yes, to teach their own. This array called titles, and it stores things of the form, like I said, the title and the weight, which is a number, and then we compute the frequencies of each of these of each title, and basically what we're looking for here is the word and the word that comes next to it, and then in a dictionary we go and we set whenever we so say the word is okay in the case of Rick, the next in the sentence Rick and Morty, if we go to the word Rick, the next word would be and so we go to that I+1 word and we say and. Oh, so for Rick, we're gonna go the next word that happens is and we're gonna increase that weight so that if the word is Rick, we're gonna say okay, there's a chance that the next word could be and. But say there's another sentence with Rick and it was Rick. Can you come up with a sentence with Rick and
Rick and his friend Morty.
But we can't. No, the next word would be and. It needs to be Rick.
Rick loves Morty.
Okay, Rick loves Morty. So then that could be another case where we have loves and we add the love weight based on how many times, how many views that title got. And so that's what this compute frequency function does.
That's a good function.
And then we compute the probabilities. This is basically so that when we generate the random sentence, that we can say, oh, it might make sense to go to here first, into the make sentence. We generate a random value between 0 and 10,000. And so say the number is 50, okay? And we need to see where does 50 fall? Is it there needs to be a 50 out of 10,000 chance it falls there. So we make these different ranges for each of the words, and so that's what happens in the compute probabilities. It's really a lot of fun.
Yes, that is a fun function.
So we need to say say for Rick, right? In our case of Rick, we had and can go from 0 to say 5,000, and then. What was the other thing? Oh, Rick loves.
Yeah,
loves can go from 5,000 to 10,000. And so say a random number prints 6,000. 6,000 falls between 5,000 and 10,000. And so it would be loves. And that's how you generate the next word based on this compute probabilities. And so the make sentence just makes use of those. It goes through the probability dictionary and it says, oh, if it's less than the value because it increments every time, then we set the current word to that. And we always add that current word to the sentence after we choose that word. And so that's basically a little glimpse into how our Markov chain works.
That's really interesting. Oh, are we recording? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I bet you're wondering, what are your plans for the future? That's definitely your next question. Good question. Good question. I'm sure that you noticed that some of the generated Markov sentences didn't make complete sense. And you know what? That's okay. That's the thing about Markov generators is they're not always accurate. So our future plans were really trying to come up with ways that we could expand our Markov chain and make it more interesting. So one thing that Vishnu and I were considering was not only choosing a beginning word, but also choosing an ending word as well. And then using that same Markov chain logic, we could connect the two together by not only analyzing what words are followed by, but what they're preceded by. So then we can look both ways and we can connect the two together using that weight analysis. And we thought this would be pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that we could do is connect to all sorts of different APIs. Maybe we could connect to YouTube's API and look at, subtitles for certain videos, for certain channels, and then we create a fake person.
Very provocative.
Very
provocative. A little bot that could talk to us.
And you think it's that person. You make it for who's a really popular YouTuber. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Jenna Marbles.
Oh,
and you could just have a fake Jenna Marbles.
Oh wow!
And then we actually
yeah.
then we sell it as just
and
Jenna Marbles.
And we become billionaires.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a Markov.
And you know, if Imgur wants to fix their meme API, Imgur, this is to you.
Yeah,
you know, you could fix that. So we could have
for
done
this
that.
to Imgur, I'm starting a GoFundMe. Take down Imgur. Start.org.
Take down. Okay.
No, dude, Imgur's great.
Yeah,
we
no.
love Imgur.
You know, they just need to work on
they've
their
done
memes.
a great job. It's just accessing their memes. You know, it's not the easiest. We were a little misled by their API documentary docs.
Docs, yeah.
Docs. I don't
Documentation.
really know what docs is short for.
Documentation.
And you know, probably on that note, this video has come to a
Nice,
grinding
man.
halt.
Yeah. We hope you enjoyed it. It's been a fun ride, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Mm.
And have an excellent May, June, July. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.